My name is Sean Kenney, and I'm an artist from New York City. We have 27 sculptures that are set up in 14 locations all around the Botanical Gardens. They're built with nearly 500,000 Lego pieces. And people are going to get to wander around, explore the gardens, stumble onto these sculptures, learn why they're special, and hopefully appreciate the work it took for me to put them together. I hope that everybody's going to get a chance to enjoy it. Actually, the whole show took 5,000 hours to assemble, which is 2.5 years of full-time work, like a 9-to-5 job. And I've got actually a whole staff of assistants that help me out in my studio in New York City. And we did it in about 6 months, but it was a big, big undertaking to get all these sculptures put together. They'll often start off as an idea, you know, the hummingbird. When somebody said to me, hummingbird feeding out of a trumpet flower, I just immediately had this vision, you know, of exactly what it turned into, this sort of side profile of the bird coming out of the flower and it being something that you could actually like walk under and look up at the stomach, you know. And I just drew it out. I drew a cartoon, you know, like a little drawing of what this could be. And you know, you kind of refine those ideas and get it to be the way you want. And then when it comes to actually turning it into a sculpture built with Lego pieces, then it's let's break out the graph paper or do some prototypes or tests and what colors look good with each other. You know, oh, he's got a red on his throat. Should we use the red or the orange, or you know, these different colors? And you know, you start planning and prototyping and messing around, and you know, eventually you've got a big sculpture and it's done. And you're like, good, let me do the next one, and then you're on to a butterfly or something. I learned everything that I know just by building, right? There's no university or something where you're going to go and learn how to do these kinds of things. And you know, I think that, you know, if you're there and you're building a Lego set, you buy a set and you follow the instructions, you build it, you're learning like the tips and the techniques and the tricks that the designers who design that set know. And then you're learning them. And so the next step is, well, great, well, now that you've learned some things, what can you do? Right? Just make something. What do you love? You know, do you love cheeseburgers? Build a cheeseburger. You love rocket ships? Build a rocket ship. You love your mom? Build your mom. You know, like whatever, I don't know. And just make stuff. When I was a kid, I wanted to make an apartment building that had a working elevator. And I tried, and I tried, and I tried, and it was so hard, but I finally made it, and it didn't work anyway, and it used up all my pieces, but it was fun, and eventually I learned how to do it, and when I was older and balder, I finally made one that actually worked. And so everything you do, you learn a good way to do it and a bad way to do it, and you know, practice makes perfect. That's what that means. I mean, it's the best thing ever to see people react to what you do. You know, you can squirrel away in your studio and make your art as an artiste or whatever, but you know, so what if people can't enjoy it? What are you making it for? I mean, you have to make it for you, of course. But you know, when you see the faces of kids and they get so excited, and you know, then they want to go do something, make something themselves. You know, I mean, art, it can be anything. You can paint, you can sculpt. You know, you can drag a kid to the art museum and look at the Rodins and the Monets, but they don't go home and grab out the watercolors and the Play-Doh. You know, but they see this and they want to make something, and they get inspired and they get creative, and that's the best thing ever. I don't know, I think they should definitely come down here to the gardens and check it out. They get to wander around and find everything. We've got a whole bunch of my children's books actually available at the gift shop that, you know, I don't want you to look at these sculptures and say, oh my gosh, I could never do that. I don't have 1,000,000 pieces. It's like, well, you know, you don't need 1,000,000 pieces. You can pick up one of my books. I made a whole book which is 35 pieces. Take them apart, put them back together, take them apart, put them back together, you know, and you can do that at home. So then get your gears turning, you thinking, and maybe you'll be creative, and someday it'll be you with your show here.
Walk our tax